Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla TV, here to talk to you today about the RSD Flatout Enzo seat. You should be checking out a Flatout Enzo seat for your ride if you're looking for a seat with that low-slung cafe influence, but you don't want to give up all comfort just to achieve a certain look. Now, these are currently being made by Mustang in conjunction with RSD for kind of an interesting range of bikes. You can see over here on this side we've got a Flatout Enzo. It's going to fit late model Harley touring bikes. And then over here you can see we have a Flatout Enzo, and this is designed for the BMW R9T. We've seen Roland Sands design, making some seats really for these two bikes exclusively right now. They're really cranking out parts for them, and these are absolutely no exception. Now, installation, regardless of whether you're working on a Harley or you're working on a BMW, is very simple. Should be pretty easy for most of you. Basic hand tools you're going to see through the job. We're going to call it a one bearder on our BSD, our beard scale of difficulty. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. First though, let's break down the Flatout Enzo seat, talk about what it is going to do for you, what it's not going to do for you, and how they're putting these things together. So we'll break this puppy out from the outside in. So when we're checking these out, you can see obviously here we've got this beautiful outside cover. On the BMW, you're looking at a pleated type of a pattern. On the Harley seat, you're looking at actually a little bit different there. You're going to get that pleat pattern, but then there's also too this channel right here with a little bit of stitching. It's going to give this kind of segmented look. Looks a little bit different, and again, because it's sunken in, you get a little bit of perennial relief there. So you're going to get some air moving underneath you. You're also going to eliminate any type of perennial pressure point or hot spot you might be getting. Now, speaking of the covers, you can see here we've got a couple different colors. We can see the BMW offered here in black also comes in a brown. Harley touring seat's a little bit different, offered in all black or this two-tone brown and black combo you can see here. Just keep in mind the same options do not exist for both seats. So let's get this puppy turned over. We'll talk a little bit about how these are actually made. So those covers that you're looking at, these are actually marine grade vinyl. Any of you guys who've watched any of my seat videos know that I'm absolutely in love with marine grade vinyl. All the best seats use them, and there's a reason. The reason is because this stuff really does work well. It holds up well to the daily rigors of riding. It's usually generally pretty UV resistant, so sunlight doesn't damage the seats. And the other thing I love about it too is because the fabric is so tough, it winds up, it keeps that nice snug look. You don't wind up with a saggy seat. Those of you who've seen the old pillow top seats in the 70s and 80s, they don't look so hot, and marine grade vinyl keeps that from being a problem. So the next thing that I always am interested in when we're talking about a seats build is the seat pan itself. It really is the skeleton for the seat. It's what everything is built upon. And Mustang is using a fiberglass pan for here. I'm really a big fan of fiberglass for several reasons. Unlike steel, the stuff never rusts, and fiberglass provides a nice hard base for a seat. Now this is going to sound counterintuitive, but for most of you, you actually want a really hard seat pan. Regardless whether or not you like a soft seat, you need a rigid, unyielding seat underneath you. When you get on your factory OEM seat, sure, it feels great, and that's what they're designed to do. Feel good for 5 or 10 minutes while you get down the road in your test ride. You come back and you buy your bike. The problem is those pans are usually plastic. They wind up sagging and cracking over time, and they just give. When a seat's giving underneath you, you're working to stay on top of it, it winds up being generally uncomfortable. So that marine grade vinyl, as I had said, is actually attached to this fiberglass pan with these rivets. I like that they use rivets to affix the seat cover to the pan. It's a really secure way to keep the cover from moving anywhere on the bike. Again, it's going to keep the cover centered, it's going to keep it looking nice and taut. The seat's going to look good for the life of your motorcycle. The final thing Mustang does with these seats that I really like are they install these rubber bumpers, and they're actually they're serving two purposes in my mind there. Firstly, they're going to keep the fiberglass pan itself from damaging either the paint on your tins or perhaps on your frame, depending on exactly which part of the pan may be touching which part of your bike. But the other thing they do that I really like too is they provide just a little bit of isolation. They actually elevate the seat up just a hair off of the frame, and they can kind of help absorb some of the bumps. Especially on a saddle like these ones that have this super low profile, I'll take any type of bump absorption I can get. Now let's chat about that installation. As I'd mentioned, it's going to be a little bit different depending on whether you're on a Harley touring bike or a BMW. If you're on a Harley touring bike, it's very simple to swap one of these seats out. You're looking at one point of attachment in the rear. Depending on what kind of fashion you have back there, you're probably just going to need a single tool in order to install this on your motorcycle. The BMW seat's a little bit different, but equally as easy. You're going to need one Torx bit to remove that pillion seat. Once you get the pillion seat off your bike, you can then remove the driver's seat, and the Flatout Enzo will bolt right in, taking up the space that both of those seats covered previously. So I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, I really love these seats. I love the style of them. These are obviously well-built seats. And again, they're gonna kind of reduce the overall profile of the bike. There's gonna be a lot of better looking Harley touring bikes and R9Ts rolling around out there. Now, my opinion is not the only game in town. Click that info button to see what some of your fellow riders who are rolling around in an RSD Flatout Enzo have to say about it. If you've got some questions, something I didn't cover in the video, perhaps you need a little bit of fitment or installation help, get in touch with one of our gear geeks, 877-792-9455, or you can always write us an email, cs@revzilla.com. I'm Lemmy, I'm out of here.